Hello and welcome to BioRules video lessons. Today we have a little bit more on genetics. Actually, it's practically the same idea with a little bit of a twist, and this is called codominance. We saw in previous classes that a dominant allele is an allele that expresses itself no matter the other. So if the other one is dominant, the other one is negative, the other one it expresses. So basically it's the one that dominates over a recessive, because the recessive is the one that don't express if it's with a dominant. So what is going to be a codominance? So I have an example here for you. I get a flower, a red flower, and I cross with a white flower. So when I do this crossing here, red flower with a white flower, what are we going to be expecting to happen? So if we expect to have red flowers, what does that mean? Oh, all the flowers, many of them are all red. So yeah, that will tell us that red is dominant. Very good, red is dominant, white therefore is recessive. What if they're all white? Ooh, okay, so white is dominant and the red is recessive. Okay, you know this already, simple inheritance, no big deal. But what happens if all of them are pink? So all of them are not red and not white, they are pink. So the explanation for this here is quite simple. Red is dominant because it's expressed itself. You see, I cross a red with a white and it's pink, and pink has red, so it has a red pigment in there. However, it also has white because pink is a red with white, so white is also dominant. So in this case, when both the red and white alleles, they express themselves and both of them are kind of dominant, we are going to have what we call codominance. So it's not red dominant, not white dominant, they are codominant. Refrain yourself from saying that are both dominant, because sometimes people don't like much that. They are not actually a classic case of dominance, it's codominance. Okay, so red and white are codominant to each other. Okay, and we can express it like this, but so let me go back here. No, yeah, we could express it like this: big R, or big W, because they are both codominant, right? But this creates kind of confusion. When you cross that, we are going to have the heterozygote be big R, big W, and the different letters. We are going to end up thinking that we have different genes, especially when you start doing two crosses at the same time. So for that case, when you have codominance, usually we say color with the variant R, big R on the top, or color with the variant big W in the top. And then the heterozygote is going to be color with the variant big R, color with the variant big W. So in this case, we know you're talking about the same gene, the gene for the color, or it could be F or flower, whatever you want, and the variant of the gene is on the top here. So that makes life much easier. Okay, codominance is quite simple. You're going to have some exercise, but now I would like to talk to you about a special case of codominance, which is blood types. Okay, I'll get an example here in a family that mother and father are A, and all the children are A. So what does that mean? Ooh, okay, if you thought it through, A could be dominant, and both mother and father are homozygote dominant, and then all the children are homozygote dominant. That could be the case. Or A is recessive, and both parents are recessive, and all the children are recessive. So actually, this here only means that the mother and the father here, they are homozygotes, right? And if I have another family there, and we have the mother and father B, and they are all B, well, that probably means that both mother and father, or at least one of them actually, is homozygote dominant, or both are homozygote recessive. So the same idea. But when I cross A and B together, what are we going to be having? So now is the question, what are they to each other? So in this case, all the kids, they were AB. So in this case, that means that the kids here have the A allele being expressed. So the A allele from the mother here is being expressed on them. They have also the B allele expressed on them, the one that comes from the father. So both are expressing. So AB is a classic case of codominance in blood type in humans. So if you are AB, you have a codominant, you have one allele A, one allele B, and that's how we are going to be playing with it. However, there's more on that. Blood type is not only A, B, or AB. So you probably know, because you might have this kind of blood, or you heard this before. No, blood types can have one extra kind of phenotype, which is going to be the O blood type. So I make another crossing here to see if you get the idea of what's going on here, not genetically, but in terms of the proteins in the blood, because all the stuff on A or B, they have to do with proteins in the blood. If you are A, you have an A immunoglobulin in your blood, in your red blood cells actually. If you are B, you have B immunoglobulin in your red blood cells. So if you are AB, you have A and B immunoglobulins in your red blood cells. Okay, that's the idea. So let's do a crossing here, A and B. So what is that gonna mean? Oh, look, that kid is A. Is that even possible? Yes, it's possible. You have an A here, and they are expressing A in here. Oh, there's a reason for that, so you're going to get that in a moment in the next slide. But yes, it's possible. What's happening here is that this father is expressing immunoglobulin A, and this kid here is expressing immunoglobulin A as well. But that one is expressing immunoglobulin B as the mother over there. Okay, so that's also possible. And this here, it's expressing immunoglobulin A and immunoglobulin B. And what's happening to the last grow in this family? It's O. So O is the third type of allele, so it's a different one from the A and the B. We have a third possibility. O means no immunoglobulin. So this girl here is not expressing immunoglobulin A or B. So she is different from the rest of the family. But can she be a natural daughter of this couple? Okay, let's take a look on what happens when you cross that O with another family, with another guy there, which is also O. The interesting here is that everybody is going to be O. So you see, she not producing immunoglobulin, married for a guy not producing immunoglobulin, had all the kids not producing immunoglobulin. So what that means over here. Let me give another example here, just for the sake of exercise. Another family, both parents AB. But in that case, A and B, right? And all the kids are AB. AB, 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 and AB. So this is what we saw in the previous time, so this is quite obvious. These are codominants, like this guy over here was, this girl over there was codominant. And I married that AB with an O blood type. And in that case, all the kids are going to be A or B. Okay, the genetic reason for that, but before that, just understand that if you are blood type A, it means you have immunoglobulin A present in your red blood cells. If you are B blood type, you have immunoglobulin B present in your blood cells. That's why A and B are codominant. If you have the allele to say produce A, you produce no matter the other. If it says produce B, you produce no matter the other. If you have one saying produce A and another one saying produce B, you're going to be produce A and B, you be AB. What about O? AB, AB, immunoglobulin, both A and B are present. Okay, so we saw that. And what about O? Both immunoglobulins, A and B, are absent. So the O actually says, don't produce immunoglobulin. And another one says, don't produce immunoglobulin. This is a classic case of recessive. Because if you have one allele saying, don't produce immunoglobulin, but another one says, do produce immunoglobulin A, you end up becoming A. So A and B are dominant over O. But A and B are co-dominant between themselves. Okay? Having understood the immunoglobulin stuff, now who produces what? A, immunoglobulin A, B, immunoglobulin B, AB, both immunoglobulins, and O, no immunoglobulin. Now we can do some genetics of this crossing here. Then you can get what is going on in here. So I'll put the same family there that you have in the beginning, that one, to see if this woman can be the natural child of there. So in this case, I'm going to be calling this dominant allele A immunoglobulin with a capital immunoglobulin with a letter A on the top. So this man, he's big IA. The other one, we don't know yet. Okay, that one is big IB. The other one, we don't know yet. This one are big IA something, big IB something. Okay. However, how is it possible that they are not big IB? So in this case, there should be something over there, but we'll go back there in a moment. This one is the easy one. Received one big IA from one parent, one big IB from another parent. That's the easy one. Okay. So big IA and big IB are both dominant alleles, so they are co-dominant alleles between each other. However, that one is recessive. The O is recessive. So that one is small y, small y. So how is it possible that that woman should be the natural child of the first couple? Very easy. If the small y is recessive, both parents could be heterozygote, and then the father is big IA, small y, so a dominant A and a recessive small y for the blood type, and the mother, big IB, small y. When they cross, they made this here small y, so this one can be a natural child of that couple. And what's more interesting is that those two over there as well, they are big IA, and they both receive the small y from the other parent. So this here received the small y from that father, and this here received the small y, no, mother, and then now this one from that father. Okay, so yes, those are all possible. And that one married to O blood type, and then recessive, they're all recessive, there's no big change here. Just take a look in the other example. ABO phenotype, how does it go? So basically, putting everything together, this is going to represent the following. I'm going to say here protein, which is the immunoglobulin, okay? The immunoglobulin A is present in the blood type A. Immunoglobulin B is present in the blood type B. Immunoglobulin A and immunoglobulin B are present in the blood type AB. And no immunoglobulin in the blood type O. So if you're blood type A, O, you don't have immunoglobulin A or B. However, there is a catch. If you are of a certain blood type, you don't produce antibodies against that blood type, but you produce antibodies against everything that you don't have. For example, O blood type, they don't have immunoglobulin, so they produce antibodies anti-A and anti-B. So they can fight against anti-A and anti-B. So AB blood type, they have both immunoglobulins A and B, so they don't produce antibodies. They don't produce this antibodies that you fight A or B. If you're B, you produce only anti-A. And if you're A, you produce the anti-B. Okay? This here is something that happens. Our immune system tends to produce antibodies against what we don't have. So that's why O produce anti-A and anti-B, A produce anti-B, B produce anti-A, and AB don't produce antibody. Okay? As a result, for people that are curious about RH, there is a protein called RH, also known as protein D, okay, which is present in the positive and is absent in the negative. Okay, and if you are a Rh positive, you have the protein Rh, then you are Rh positive, you don't produce antibodies anti-Rh. If you are Rh negative, that means you don't have the protein D or the protein Rh, and that means you produce anti-Rh protein or anti-D protein. Okay, so this is the positive and negative. It's another gene, simple inheritance, no big deal. This is too easy. Okay, just to show you an example here, what blood type is this person? So basically, we put here blood of a person, 4 little drops. One is control. We put a little bit of saline solution there, no reaction. And we put anti-D or the anti-RA and reaction. So what is that person? That person is positive because it reacted, the anti-RH reacted with the RH, so the person is positive for RH. This here didn't react with the B, so this person not B, but react with the A, so this person is A positive, because when I put anti-A reacts with the A, the person has A, so it's and this is an A positive because react over there. Another example here for you. Oh, sorry, spoiler alert. So what is the blood type of this person? No reaction to control, reaction with the D, so this person is positive. No reaction in the B, no reaction in the A, so this person is O positive, O blood type positive. So that's how we test for blood type. Okay? Just to talk about blood types, react, not react, and all that stuff, people are usually curious about who can donate to whom. So let's see who can donate to whom. First, in the ABO blood type, okay? If you are A, you can donate to A, of course, and you can also donate to AB, because you don't have, the AB don't have any antibody, so they don't reject any blood. So you can give anybody to AB, AB can receive from anybody. So DA can donate to A and to AB, but cannot donate to B, because B produces anti-A. Cannot donate to O, because O produces anti-A. So the A blood type donates to A and to AB. The B blood type, of course, also donates to B, but also donates to AB, because AB can receive from anybody. It doesn't have any antibody against, but cannot donate to O. AB people can only donate to AB. So the ABs, they are ultimately selfish in terms of donation. They only donate to AB, because the blood would make the anti-B of the blood type A's to be fight against. The anti-A also to fight against the blood type AB. The O will really fight against with the anti-A and the anti-B, so they can only donate to people that are AB. What about then the blood type O? The blood type O don't have proteins A or B, so they can donate to A because they don't have anything to be fight against, to B or to AB. So the O is the donor. It can donate to anybody. In terms of A, B, O, the donor is the universal donor. It can donate to everybody. Okay. In terms of Rh, a different gene, what will happen is that the positive can only donate to positives, because if the positive donates to the negative will have anti-Rh and is going to be fighting it, and something horrible happens. So the positive will donate to positive. And negatives can donate to anybody, because the negative don't have anti-protein, anti-Rh, so they can donate to positive or negative. So putting all this together, who is going to be the universal donor and who is going to be the receiver? So A can receive from A or O, B can receive from B or O, AB can receive from anybody, O can receive only from O, and Rh positive can donate to any, can receive from any of them, so can receive from positive to negative, and the negative can only receive from negative. So putting all this together, the ABO and the Rh, the O negative is the universal donor. O negative can donate to absolutely every blood type in the system, ABO, positive and negative. So if you are O negative, you can donate to everybody. If you are O negative, your blood is very valuable in a blood bank. If you get there, they receive you with a big smile on the face. Okay? And if you are AB positive, your blood cannot be donated to anybody. Ultimate selfish, but you can receive from absolutely everybody. Any blood type can go into your veins and you're not going to be fighting it. So you're the ultimate receiver, universal receiver. Okay? There is another thing called erythroblastosis fetal. This erythroblastosis fetal will be there in one little exercise in the quiz, and I am going to be letting you think about that for a while. I want you to research what's erythroblastosis fetal. Just to give you a hint, it has to do with positive or negative blood type and with the mother. Mothers with a certain blood type, they react against the child's different blood type. It's the same idea of blood donation, but with the Rh and mother, and especially with the second child. But I want you to Google it, find out what the erythroblastose fetal is for, so you can get that question right. Okay? I see you in class. Bye-bye.